stomp, game 2 even, game 3 stomp the other way. Huh?
I feel like we didn't really get to see them play. I don't even know how good Infinity is after that game.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm not going to make any assumptions. Sure, maybe they could. Hokori looked good. Hokori drafted a pretty basic and much easier to play lineup. I saw things from the patch I like.
If you're going to run this carry Abaddon, you really have to be mindful of the carry matchup you're going to go against, because I think Tro's probably the worst one, because he just locks you in.
Well, they did first pick that Abaddon, so maybe that wasn't part of the plan, but an adjustment, an audible they had to make throughout the draft. But let's jump into it. We've got game 2 ready to rock, and we've got bans already. Mars, Mirana, and Earth Spirit Beastmaster.
I believe Hokori did receive a penalty here of 30 seconds, if you guys noticed on the reserve time. So
yeah,
take note, draft enthusiasts.
Desquito.
If you guys can only play one hero for the rest of Dota, who would you play? Like, that's it. You get one character.
Enigma.
Enigma? That be your hero?
Yes.
That was a really quick answer.
I just love Enigma.
I think, as much as I want to say like Dazzle or Witch Doctor, I think you got to pick somebody that can flex some roles, or else you're going to go real crazy real fast.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, man.
It's a tough call. I don't know.
That is a tough call.
It's a toss-up, because there's some heroes that are just so unbelievably satisfying. I'd miss playing them forever. Like, could I never hit a 5-man Ravage again? What about
honestly,
Echo Slam?
I think CM is pretty high on my list, because she's just so ubiquitous. Like, you're giving mana to your team. She's a fun laner. You can do big damage. You can buy BKB. You can play 5. You can jungle.
I saw some people were trying her mid with the shard.
With the shard, yeah.
Yeah. So
I might take the lame answer and go CM, dude. I think she's my baseline support
for admitting that, because I kind of want to too, and I thought that's way too lame. So wait, I don't even know who I'd pick, you guys. I guess I'll go with Earth Spirit. He's my lately. I don't know. I feel like you can just do so much of that hero that I wouldn't go insane. But Tide is a close second, and Earthshaker. I love the big team fight.
I sort of thought you'd go with Tiny, because I thought Tiny was a Trent Pax classic, like back to your roots.
Back in the day. He could be pretty good too, actually. Now, talk about flexibility. That's not bad. He usually weathers the storm in the patches. He gets tossed around a little bit. But, yeah, he always manages to find his way back to the meta. I don't know about first phase, though.
Yeah, this is a little surprising. Hokori looking to do it fierce. And with the early Tiny, they do have last pick. So I wonder if this is going to be a flex. Is this something Mr. Jeans plays? Is this potentially a support?
So. I think they're definitely willing to run this mid if they're picking this early. And of course, the carry seems to be one of the more popular ones right now.
Yeah.
I love that we're at this point in Dota where a non-traditional carries can actually carry. Like Bloodseeker could play one for a while, but he was still this kind of niche, certain kind of strategy hero. Now he's just like a carry, right? And I think maybe on this patch we'll see more heroes fit the bill for that.
This is kind of interesting. So right now in top tier pubs, Tiny has a pretty good spread, all right, in terms of roles. 9% of the time it's in the off lane, 35% of the time it's in the mid, 40% of the time it's a position 4, and then about 12% of the time it's a carry, and the leftover percent is just position 5. So in order, 4, and then mid, and then carry. Sounds about right.
Okay. Right? Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's got great voice lines too, just like Tide Hunter. That's the other reason I really want to keep playing Tide.
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I really think of Tiny as one of the most iconic Dota heroes, because in the original Base Hunter Dota music video, the clip that they show over and over is a Tiny pushing high ground with Avalanche when Avalanche used to do damage to buildings. I don't know if you remember that way back in the day.
I don't.
That might have just been a Dota 1
before
thing,
my
honestly.
time.
Yeah, that might not have even made it to Dota 2. But obviously, young nerd watching Base Hunter, thinking he's super cool and Dota's awesome way back in the early 2000s. I always thought Tiny was really cool. And every time I played him, I was really, really bad because I didn't understand how the combo worked until I got to Heroes of Newerth. How sad is that? That's how bad I was at Dota 1, Trent. It was bad. I wish we had replays for that.
Dota 1, man. It's okay.
But wait, let me just, my roommate and I used to play Dota 1 together when we were in high school and college. And our strategy was Lina, Lich, dual mid, both start boots with no regen, and rush Aghanim Scepter.
Nice.
Okay.
Battle for last hits. Both try to hit level 6 and then just drop the cannon on whoever's nearby. Then run back to the well to get more mana. It was a lot of fun. It was real bad, but it was a lot of fun.
Like one thing I really sometimes I think about this, and that's probably why I'm kind of weird in the head. Like imagine if we could reset everyone's minds and you just give people Dota 2 in the state it's in right now.
We'd be so bad.
Like everything we believe years that we honed this game. Like, can you imagine how people would actually play the game? Like
that would be such an awesome
people who
experiment.
just literally. What if we could find some gamers from like they're decent gamers? Let's say they played FPSs, or we get some.
They've been
Rocket
frozen
League
for
pros.
10 years. They just wake up and Dota's a game.
Yeah, who've never played a MOBA though. We would need them.
Yeah.
Like they have no concept of creeps, because even like League experience, I think, would help people a lot.
Yeah, God, that would be awesome.
Oh, that'd be quite the experiment there. All right, now you guys go find those people.
Yeah.
We'll find some more heroes here as the Oracle and the Pango come out after.
How do we feel about Pango? He's come up in conversation, but I don't think we've really seen him picked much. A couple of bans.
Yeah, a couple bans.
He lanes well, flexible hero. New shard is really good because you get more duration in the ball. Your ball is lower, but it also lasts for longer. So I think overall, like his team fighting is better.
I think he's really good versus Lesh too. The last time I saw Pango was versus Lesh, and I remember thinking, "Oh, that looks like a real problem for this Lesh rack," because you just game bounced around in the team fights before your BKB. Now, mind you, in the end, I believe the Lesh won, so it is also covered by an Oracle and Snowball this game too. So the Lesh has some friends.
All right, so Tiny Core.
Most likely. Hero that loves playing against Leshrac, AoE damage into Carapace, pretty cool. Mana burn as well, very effective.
10 seconds remaining.
So how are they? Yeah, they're definitely in the stun category now. They
This is such an
Infinity
SA draft, dude. Like Hokori's lineup is just so like run at you. Though, like dying to Tiny Pango or Nyx is a rage-inducing experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now Ursa to go with the Oracle. I do like this draft from Infinity as well. This is very well-rounded.
Yeah, they have Push. They have Roche. Their lanes look okay. The Nyx is a problem for sure. Especially this Oracle, right? If he gets initiated at the start of the fight, things can get pretty ugly.
Kind of say a good Legion game again for Infinity.
What if Hokori goes safe lane Tiny and puts a Nature's Prophet mid?
It's possible.
What would the Prophet help with?
Just super active, jumps around, brings them online early, pressure the side lanes.
Kind of squishy.
Yeah.
That's true.
I definitely
So
like
is this Lash
Tiny
gonna be
mid the
offlane
best.
Is the Lash going to be offlane again? Or do you guys think it's going to be middle?
Yeah, it's true. They have to reveal. I'd love if I could get some sort of a flexible situation here. Maybe like Amaris S-Kiro again. I mean, Amaris is banned, obviously. What else fits into our category?
I think with the Nyx, you might just want to throw Lash to the Wolves. Pick a hero that doesn't... you don't give that much priority to a hero that gets countered so hard by Nyx. And they take the...
Phantom Lancer's still in.
For
He sure is.
I'm just noting.
There is
Kind
a
of for
Lash.
both sides, honestly. I mean, mostly for Hokori.
Yeah. It isn't too Lash, though. It's a little
10
scary.
seconds remaining.
That's true. That's always a nice...
I think Infinity went mid Lash and they're just going to go for like a Tide Hunter or some really classic offlaner here. I mean, Centaur is also in. I don't know if Centaur is particularly good here.
Yeah,
I
DP
don't know
still
what they need. Like the lineup of Hokori seems pretty balanced. Like you have...
I wouldn't
kinda
mind like
Tide,
an Underlord.
I think if I'm Infinity.
Yeah.
I think that just like a big old Ravage. I think like a Ravage could help set things up here.
Like Pit
Okay.
versus Phoenix, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Somebody who's beefy and also a nice setup, some combo with Tusk. Centaur, Underlord, Tide. That's my big three.
All right. I mean, Tusk Tide is really good. Have the minus arm of Gush with the tag team.
Punch. What about the Wind Ranger? The Tusk Wind Ranger plays.
Against Tiny, though.
I'm still into that.
That
Yeah,
is a
maybe not this
nasty
game.
lane pairing.
I just want to bring it back.
I remember the
Surprised
first
it
time we
fell
saw
off.
it, we were like, "Is this actually good?" And it just destroyed the lane.
I
Like,
remember
okay.
that so clearly because we were
Me too.
casting the group stage for one of the majors.
Oh! Wow.
All right, so we were casting group stage for one of the majors, and Liquid pulled it out, and we were like, "Is this good?" And then we were like, "Well, the Focus Fire should work with the tag team, right?" And then they ran it like 4 games straight or something,
Yeah.
won every game, and then it just got banned the rest of the time we were
The
casting
very
it.
first showing was, I mean, they absolutely destroyed the enemy
5
safe lane.
seconds
Like
remaining.
Tusk and Wind Ranger were both just playing
I-
as cores that
I think
game.
it was the MDL Disney major. That sounds like what it was.
That
I think
sounds right. That sounds right.
it was gross.
And it could even be middle, right? It could be
Yeah.
Wind Ranger middle. Still benefit from the Tusk anyways.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
sure.
pretty funny.
Totally.
But Bowie, you're right. I mean, there's a reason why Bowie into is like, because Tiny can just blow you up. It is a concern.
Yeah, I guess
and
I
same
mean, it
with
doesn't
Pango,
matter
too.
if it's mid wind or off lane though. I still feel like you're gonna be kind of squishy because of the items Wind Ranger goes for.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
they're betting on the Oracle there to save.
Oh my god! I just took off the pin. I put on the IO pin, and he makes his return.
Oh my gosh, guys, we were ahead of the curve. We're talking about Void the first couple days, and now he's showing up. We saw him earlier today. It was not good, but still, I think the hero perhaps has some merits. Not an amazing Void draft in terms of damage to dump into the Chrono, but that's okay. That doesn't necessarily mean it's not a good Void game, and it will
got
be
the
Mr.
egg.
Jeans on that tiny mid. So
Yeah, it's mostly Egg and Sunray, right? The bubble strat.
Yes.
here.
Can also get a blink on Pango, just jump on top of the person. It keeps doing damage.
I would just like to give a big old salute to old sexy Yogi here. Good luck there, friend. Versus Pango, Nyx, Tiny, Phoenix, and
Yeah.
Faceless Void. You are the prime target, and I hope that you at least distract 2 heroes before dying. That's like the best
poor
you can
Oracle.
go for.
yeah, he's gonna
Bless
have
up,
a target on his
sexy
back.
Yogi.
Okay.
Oof.
I think Hokori's draft is better, guys. They have 2 cores that can get bursted by the Tiny really fast. The Zoracle, as just pointed out, just gets bursted quickly. It's gonna be, I think now has to carry a lot this game. I think he's gonna have to.
I don't know.
he might
PB's
need
got
an
some
Axe
stuff here
for
too,
the
though.
Chrono.
Like if PB has a couple early good ganks, like Tiny's gonna be low armor at the start. 1 shackle plus Walrus Punch will be enough to kill anyone. Like even the
Yeah.
Faceless Void. So
I feel like this
it's-
game you just learn grow earlier as Tiny. Like you get 12 armor, dude. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. No, I mean like literally the second you hit 6 sort of deal. Like Tusk coming mid, like that kind of like try and get the first kill, pressure tower, use your Leshrac. Honestly, the tower pressure I think is still so potent that it leans me towards Infinity's side.
Infinity definitely has some good options, and they've got multiple forms of save. You got the Snowball, you got the Oracle. We've seen how important the Chronos are. You miss 1 or 2 Chronos in the mid game, things get real tough. So
if Infinity or if Hokori like stop this one again, then they are clearly better because these drafts are much closer.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
okay, all right, I like it. Well, we've got to pause per usual here. So Gary,
Good
I
luck,
mean,
Gary.
dare I even throw it to you here? But we're gonna get to see a Wind Ranger with the Tusk. We're gonna get to see a Faceless Void. Optimistic here, thinking about a game 3. Are we? We getting ahead of ourselves there?
Yeah, absolutely. I've also got to quickly restart my game because I was doing some Overwatch cases and I've got the little bug where a player perspective is there. But, of course, during a pause, Theban, very quickly, important questions to be answered. The panel talking about a single hero. If for the rest of time you can only play one, what is your one hero that you would play forever?
I play Invoker. Easy.
Oh, yeah?
He's got the most spells, most options. You can play in every role if you really put your mind to it. Yeah, I think that's it. How about you, Gary? What you got?
That was almost my answer because Invoker is one of my most played heroes. But I came to the conclusion that I would go with Warlock. By the power of Goroth, the Garlock is the hero that I would play forever until the end of times. He's just so fun dropping golems on people.
Gary, if like that's the hero I would wish upon my worst enemy to play. Probably.
Why?
Because it's so boring. Like you just run around and just heal people. It's almost as boring as Ogre. No, Ogre without Fire Blast would be the most boring hero to play. Good thing he has
you're
Fire Blast.
you're not considering the possibilities here. See, I was notorious in UK Dota when I used to be a mid player for 3 heroes: Invoker, Tinker, I know, evil, horrible person, and Mid Warlock. Mid Warlock is one of the most fun things you can ever do. Just put Shadow Word on your opponent, put Fatal Bonds on them. They can't lane mid anymore. Mid Warlock, go try it. It's really entertaining.
Okay, how about this? What is the hero that you would want your worst enemy to play for the rest of their life? Like, let's say you're cursing me to play one hero for the rest of my life. Which hero will you give me to play?
Let me have a look quickly at these. See, my first thought was techies. I think that's a pretty natural reaction, is to go, yeah, I want them to play techies. But you can have fun playing techies.
Yeah,
techies
you can
be
that's
entertaining, right?
Yep.
So I don't know. It's so difficult nowadays with talents and new items. You can always find different interesting ways to play heroes.
Everyone's pretty cool, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's like Spirit Breaker or something. I can't even say like Undying or Crystal Maiden or whatever.
That's the beauty of Dota. Every hero is so fun. You know what? I'll force you to play, Gary? I'll force you to play Chen. Because I'm sure you can't micro shit, so I'm gonna just
I can. When I swapped to support, Chen was one of the first heroes I actually started playing.
Damn it.
You're falling right into my trap. I actually used to love it. Do you remember when reverse captain's mode was like a fun little thing people would occasionally play?
Yep. I remember.
And people would force people to play Chen and Meepo, and I would actually enjoy it.
Nice. I mean, I should have guessed that. You said you want to play the rest of your life.
Yeah, you should have realized the toxicity.
Someone call the police.
Lumiere.
We got a psychopath on the loose.
Quick time walk away for the Faceless Void. Vision giving them the information they need. And again, we're seeing more and more of this. Is it going to become more common, these smokes, to try and start things off early?
30 seconds to
I mean, they ran into the Faceless Void, who has an escape. So he just got out of it. It's actually going right back in. He's got another escape again.
Still trying to force this, yeah. Fortune's End, tag team. Pamplona battling with Lumiere. Now the stun for the Nyx and a good split earth, connecting on 2 heroes, but the Tusk about to drop his boots. He's speedy, he's up on the high ground. The burning fire spirits don't tick him down, and that Tango regen allows him to barely slip away from danger. He's in the trees, but he's been found. Elmisho hunts him down, he cuts through again. Another Tango expended, but Mr. Jeans, come on, punch him, take him, kill him off. Finally finish off that pesky Tusk.
Oh, wow. The one hero you did not want to give first blood to. Mr. Jeans Tiny. This is their tempo controller. He needs to be having a good game, Gary, or else they're going to have a hard time killing the heroes on Infinity side, especially with an Oracle there.
Especially with these bottle builds as well, right? The bottle rush for Tiny, he's going to have it sooner. And a little interesting PP there, going for more stats than the bottle rush. A little bit slower on the bottle for the Wind Ranger. I guess you're going to need that against the base damage of Tiny, right?
Indeed. Need that damage. Right-click him. I mean, this is a very hard lane for the Tiny, because he can't really go in to attack the Wind Ranger. She's just going to click Wind Run. And you're going to take like 3 shots to your face while being slowed down. Mr. Jeans can only really focus on farming and getting his XP in this lane, and then making rotations later. Like, once he's high enough level, then the Wind Ranger will just pop. But for now, in the laning stage, you just got to farm.
Yeah, let's keep on farming, control the runes. And we can take a little peek into these side lanes. Elmisho, Vitaly, sniping the courier. I was going to say Elmisho there just being mirrored by Sexy Yogi, as he does get the wave drag back, but Vitaly has decided to leave that top lane, force the Oracle away. Is that just because it's Gardic? From the Phoenix down to the Tusk. This Tusk Lesh lane, they've copied it.
Yep. Definitely. I mean, that was just a level 1 Phoenix. Can't really dive away. Earth Spirit, Tusk, these kind of heroes can always get on top of the Phoenix on those early levels, especially with the Fire Spirits being on cooldown, and just try to kill him. So Gardic not being careful enough.
He's able to bring out some items for the Void, though. Gloves of Haste there for Lumiere. He's eyeing up a hand to Midas on that Void. We'll see what direction he goes. And with the water runes spawning up, Mr. Jeans has an empty bottle. Trying to force PP away. But no support's actually coming in to guard the runes. Well, the mid laners just straight up take it.
Some good HP. Mana. PP got his bottle as well now. Do you know why they picked the Faceless Void here, Gary?
No, I don't.
It's to counter the Ursa! The Ursa Enrage with his shard is so good. Been watching it quite a lot lately. You just Urshock in, you're enraged, they can't really turn on you, can't really stun you. Very powerful. Void, he's a hero who can just chrono the Ursa, so the enrage won't really matter that much. Pango getting really low. They're gonna chase him down, Gary. Oh, no, they're just gonna back off. He got
So
pretty
much
close.
damage.
It was like 2 hits. He was 2 hits away from killing the Pango. But if the Pango were to turn around and get a lucky shot onto the Ursa, then the Ursa would be the one falling instead.
Such a nice little back and forth. I mean, once you get up to like 4 stacks of Fury swipes, you do see your life flash before your very eyes. Next Assassin also proving to be this pesky little bug. Carapace
Yeah, he's
and
not letting
stun.
Sexy Yogi get any pulls off whatsoever. And Vitaly, he's able to get this nice creep wave going into his tower. It's going to be able to farm that very easily. So El Micho doing his job well. It's pretty much the job to position 4. Just make sure the 5 can't pull the lane back. Give your 3 as much XP as you can.
Incredibly disruptive. And then
Another water rune's coming out. Tiny's going to go for the bottom banner. Water rune, and Amisho got the top one. Yeah, this is going to be the real
exactly.
future of runes, water runes. Like, you still want one of your supports to go and take the other one so he can go to the other side. Tiny, you know, he can control up the river area because of that avalanche toss combo. You don't want to fight into that damage.
Ursa taking a lot of damage on his way back. Trying to drag this wave around. Swashbuckle, move forward. Double wave coming the way of the dire side. Down to this pull from Sexy Yogi. And now really not comfortable to stick around and farm it. So much pressure from Hokori just for those 2 heroes with the Pango and the Nyx.
Yeah, you wouldn't really be expecting these 2 heroes to be applying pressure to the Ursa, but they are in terms of like some possible kill potential. But if you look at the Pango though, he's suffering in last hits.
Yeah, he's not getting a whole lot. And now with Carapace spent, now we're just going to chase down the next Assassin. Swashbuckle there and another disarm. Disarm on disarm with a Fate Edict, but the shield crash. And Vitaly chasing El Micho has another impale.
stun.
Do they go Oracle? Do they go Ursa? Which one? They pick a target. Fortune's End comes out. He's trying to line up this
Oh, he missed it!
impale, but El Micho, he won't get it done. Still fighting Sexy Yogi, but Vitaly bottling back to full HP with another shield crash. Looks like he should be alright.
Yep.
Now
Nice damage
far too low on
reduction.
HP to keep
Bottom lane.
chasing forward. And
Lash
bottom
out.
lane they are going in onto that Lash with Mr. Jean's first rotation.
There we go. You know what I've noticed in the South American games, Gary? The mids rotate very early now. Previously, you wait for the 4-minute power rune. If you get it, you might rotate like at nighttime. But now, even at 5 minutes, without bounties or power runes, they're making the rotations happen anyway, trying to build some kind of momentum for their team.
Radiant are scared.
It's literally the moment they hit level 6, isn't it? Like a lot of these Ember, Void Spirit, even Tiny
here
who
we
doesn't
go.
necessarily have an ultimate.
50-50,
top.
who's got it? Oh,
Oh, it's
PP's
the
got it.
DD.
DD. Now top lane. PP's on the way too.
There's a lot of heroes from the Dire coming up here.
Yeah, this is
El
really
Micho.
scary for Hokori.
Vitaly, they've got Swashbuckle and an Impale, but the Snowball tag team is going to close in on the next and block him out to give PP the power shot kill.
Yeah, he's not gonna go any forward. He doesn't have Shaco Shot. Can't really chase the Pango down. He does have a few skill points saved up though. Okay, he does have 1 point of Shaco here.
And Vitaly spends the Swashbuckle, so he goes straight back in and PP gathers up a double kill.
Yep, feels good for the Wind Ranger. Got the Javelin ready now with Focus Fire still online. Might be holding it to TV bottom, but a little bit low on the mana.
Bottom, Chrono.
Oh, little boy.
And they've kept Tiny outside of it. The ranged hero, Tiny with his massive sword, whacking into the Lash and tossing him.
That was really nice. You know, Gary, I noticed that Hokori, because they play Leshrac themselves, they realize the power of the Leshrac, and they're putting a lot of emphasis into shutting this hero down early game. That's 2 deaths to the Lesh already. They do not want this hero to snowball.
Nice Fortune's End top.
Is under attack.
Nyx throws out a stun onto the Ursa. Can they get a disarm? Slow down the advance. El Micho, half HP with 3 stick, and Speedy with his tranquil boots. He is all right, and here's Tiny. Avalanche catches both of them. Can't go for now as the Enrage is there, so they'll, again, focus the Oracle, the easy target instead. Hokori responding brilliantly.
Thanks.
I think you were saying after the previous game as well, it's difficult if you give the Lesh a decent laning stage to actually manage to hold onto your towers, isn't it?
And look at him. He died twice, but he's still running at the tower. He's putting a lot of pressure onto this Faceless Void right now.
Yeah, knowing that Chrono's down.
just brings so many heroes into his lane.
They're also going to snowball on Lumiere. Wind Ranger, Shackle Shot, catches after the time lapse. And I don't see Lumiere's Void anymore, and Pamplona's stuck here behind the tier 1. Don't think they can bring him down with 10 stick charges and the run back by the Tusk.
Trying to
Look
get
at the backstab though.
Into focus fire play.
Tiny nearly finds Little Boy. He's comboed the Lesh, doesn't get the kill. PP now with the focus fire and the shards. Can they tag team onto the Tiny? Snowball there, but no tag team. So Mr. Jeans pops the fairy fire, and now the Avalanche in onto the poor Wind Ranger. PP moves too far forward, and Hokori have 5. Count them, 5 heroes here reacting again to infinity.
Gary, that was very ambitious against Tiny's Grow. You know how much armor Tiny has?
Lots.
Take a look. A lot, exactly. You cannot be going on him as a Wind Ranger at this stage in the game unless the Tusk is already there with maybe at least level 2, if not level 3 tag team. So, unfortunate by PP, giving away a little bit of his advantage right now.
Dire's bottom tower is under
I do see that Nyx Assassin though. Tiny has come straight back in onto PP though. And like you were saying earlier, it is this point now. Level 8 Tiny blows up the Wind Ranger, wants the Oracle with a slap down of the sword. It's a double kill, but they also know there's high ground vision. They know there are jungle stacks being made. It is kill on kill with information being gained and a move into mid yet again onto this Tusk. Snowball's back. Mr. Jeans has no avalanche toss, but they've got the punches. Just right-clicking the Tusk down. He doesn't have an impale. They don't have disables, so it's a little bit awkward finding the finish, but it's done.
Well, the Wind Ranger now dying twice. The Tiny has completely taken over in net worth. About 1,000 gold away from the dagger. Will also be able to control the 10-minute power rune, which is going to be huge. And now the Leshrac even more exposed. Oh, the rune's top. He's got to go back to get that first.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's right. I remember I was looking at the net
bottom
worth
Leshrac, Gary.
Oh, jeez, Little Boy. Yet again. Leshrac.
Yeah.
Trying to get down on the tower, and he is chipping away at that tier 1, but 3 deaths now for it.
Mm-hmm. You know what, Gary? You can totally see that Infinity just took the Leshrac because they felt like that was the reason why Hokori won the game, but they're not able to execute this Leshrac right now. They do not know its weaknesses. They do not know how much help that hero needs, how early you gotta take the tier 1 tower to get that hero going. And it's feeding a lot right now. 0, 3, and 1, trying to take towers on its own and getting punished for it.
And Faceless Void has gotten away with a pretty greedy build. It's not Battle Fury, but Midas Mask of Madness.
There's not even boots in that build, Gary. It's just straight Midas Mask of Madness. He wants to carry hard.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He's going to be a monster, that's for sure. But yeah, thinking back to, what, 5-6 minutes in, when Wind Ranger made that move top, Tiny was about 500-600 net worth ahead of her, and she kind of caught up, and the kills seem so important for PP here, and especially one on Tiny if they can make it work, but they've gone 4v3, the Sunray's going to heal them, El Micho holds them back with the carapace, and then comes the Chrono. Bubbles up 3 heroes, Sunray burning, the Supernova comes, and now the Swashbuckle with the Rolling Thunder, PP, Little Boy, they're both dropping low, but Lumiere shredded by now. El Micho can't stop them, and a false promise on the Little Boy. That might be enough to save him with the heals from Sexy Yogi, but the burning Sunray and
he's still alive.
Big damage from the Rolling Thunder, not enough to kill him off. Lash survives, finally burst down by the Vendetta. Sexy Yogi doesn't get the finish, and the raindrop save for Tali through that power shot as El Micho turns it again with a stun and the jump in from the Tiny combo. And it does take down Sexy Yogi, but Wind Ranger's out with about 50 HP and snipes that final hero, the Nyx Assassin, with the power shot.
My goodness. I mean, Lumiere, he saw the big chrono, but he did not calculate for the fact that there's no damage anymore. Tiny already used his toss combo. You don't really got other skills to pair in with the Chrono. I mean, the egg is nice, but the egg has to go first before the Chrono comes out if you want to make it really effective. And Ursa coming in, killing off the Void, who already time walked in. And I guess at the end of the day, that was a net win for Infinity.
Yeah, it feels like it. The fact they keep that Ursa and the Wind Ranger alive through the fight are now smoking
And
up.
get the kill on the post one. And Chrono was used.
Ah, yeah, exactly.
Dire's top tower is under
Tag
attack.
team level 3.
Dire's structure.
Maelstrom on Wind Ranger. But they find nobody. 2 dire wards down here. Doesn't spot anyone out. They see the Nyx up in the top jungle. They know Void is in the mid lane. Such a difficult angle of approach here. And that top tower is going to get clicked down as they do allow Little Boy finally to bring that bottom one
Dire's top
down with
Pesky
the edict.
Lashak just going right back. Trying to take that tower. You can't keep stopping him permanently. At some point, you're going to have to still make your own aggressive moves.
4 deaths later.
Oh, mid. There's a lot of heroes
the
collapsing
objective.
around this area.
They did spot the Nyx under a dire sentry though.
Dire's
So they know
Jeans wants
Nyx
to do
is
something with the
lurking.
dagger. Oh, it's over.
Yeah.
They just give up. They're like, I think they're all here. Let's just back off.
Dire's courier has been
Lumiere probably making the call that without Chrono, he just wants to sit back and farm.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Vitali
So what's he-
also has a blink, by the way, Gary, on the Pango.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So going for that raw team fight, and it's like Bowie said, they've got the potential there then for the Rolling Thunder into the Chrono even.
Radiant's middle tower.
You know what,
Jump
Gary?
on top of someone.
Leshek and Oracle just took the mid tower, and the Leshek has a hood. I'm beginning to feel like Little Boy is back in this game, even after all those early deaths.
Recovered?
Yeah, recovered. It's crazy, but it really feels like he's recovered. And the Ursa's doing very well for himself. He's got a Battle Fury. He's the highest net worth, out farming a Midas Mask and Manus Void at the moment.
Oh.
There goes
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
He just wanted to D-ward. Very good defense of the high ground vision though.
Is under attack.
Sexy
Yeah.
Yogi and Pamplona.
Hokori, they need to get some smokes going. They have not been using this Blink Dagger Tiny and the Pango Blink Dagger Pango as well.
Radiant structures are
They're just getting run at. Ursa Tusk on top of Vitali, half HP, burst down within an inch of his life. Goes for the Rolling Thunder though, and Mr. Jeans with a Blink Avalanche, catching out that one hero they want to burst and blow up before he can get any saves,
still
but he's
alive.
actually healed with the 1 charge and the Fate Edict. He is alive, and the Focus Fire with the Shackle Shot now, the Supernova and the Chrono. That's a big one for them, stunning up, but
They got
that
the
save
egg.
onto now. The Ursa's still up and Garlic's down, the Egg focused, and that's not a good look for Hokori as they get demolished. 3 heroes shredded, Lumiere with another Time Walk should be able to jump over the shards. But Infinity
nice
strike
play there.
back.
Yeah, I think Mr. Jeans went in onto the Oracle, but didn't use the combo, the Avalanche Toss, that allowed Sexy Yogi to survive. He's got a fluffy hat and a cloak, and then... Oh, okay. Still not going to kill him, buddy. He's got a cloak and a fluffy hat. Now he's
Yeah,
dead.
Mr. Jeans gives away his massive streak to Sexy Yogi.
Yep, that's how you counter Tiny. Cloak, fluffy hat. Easy peasy. Well played, Mr. Sexy Yogi. And then, because he survived in that last fight, he was able to use the False Promise onto the Ursa, who was able to eliminate the egg, and suddenly, you don't got any teamfight anymore on the side of Hokori.
All down the drain. And now Dire into the pit. Get Ursa that Aegis.
fall into the Dire. Radiant
And in a domineering position. Lumiere. He's got MKB and BKB queued up. I guess MKB against Wind Ranger is kind of a necessity.
100%. Must-have item. Also a great item for Void. It gives them attack speed as well.
And the rest of his team need to try and make some space for him so he can get to that item.
Finally, they're making a
Mr.
smoke play.
Jeans
But that's an Aegis
Opening it
hero
up
though,
onto
Gary.
now. It's an Aegis Enrage hero. Well, look at him. Now he's going to try and turn and fight. The Rolling Thunder connecting onto the Teddy Bear. They will remove that Aegis. First life down with the Shackle Shot catching
Tiny.
Nyx. Elmisha with the Carapace, but they turn and burn onto Tiny. Mr. Jeans power shot and clapped down by now. Earth Shock. Turns him into dust. And a shard. And it won't catch onto the Pango. They do get everybody else out there. Do you think that's worth it? Mid laner for an Aegis? Like, does it remove momentum enough from Infinity?
No, I don't think so. This first Aegis wasn't really going to amount to much. Ursa was just going to farm with it anyway, maybe take a fight here or there. But losing your Tiny, like, this hero loses momentum very quickly the more you die. And now they're just going to go to the tier 2 tower. Little Boy should be careful, though. He's got no mana. Tiny's alive. Egg is up as well. They got to get out, because without Little Boy, they're losing a lot of damage on the side of Infinity.
Yeah, I like the way Pamplona played that. They are trying to retreat, but the Tusk kind of plays forward. Oracle, unfortunately, stuck around with his Tusk, and will pay for it with his life. As mid lane PP.
Oh,
Void
that
lifted his
chrono was
arms for
coming
the
out.
chrono. Yeah, you can see it.
coming out. Do you remember there was a time when you got chronoed, your attacks cannot miss inside the chrono?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like
There was no
didn't work?
evasion. Yes. There was no
Yeah.
evasion inside the chrono. That was insane. I mean, it kind of makes sense. They're frozen in place. How can they dodge your attacks? Right?
Yeah, time stops. Surely it's impossible. Oh, that Wind Ranger. It's a tasty treat. How much do they need? Blink, Avalanche, Toss, Rolling Thunder, Blink in. Not enough.
Nope, that's it.
PP with the Ogre Axe. Tanky Wind Ranger. And now the snowball back to Mr. Jeans. And they've also expended Supernova off to the left-hand side, but it's the Tiny. Surrounded now. The Nyx trying to save the day with an Avalanche play. Mr. Jeans, he's trying to slip away with a Blink maybe, but he's caught up by Infinity.
Hokori is really overestimating the damage output right now. Like, we've hit the mid game. Your heroes can no longer just combo burst anyone. You need those like long dragged out fights where you bring heroes to 80%, 70% HP, and then you blow them up. They're just going in with the tiny avalanche combo plus the Pango rolling, and it's just not enough. The Wind Ranger just walked away. She's got almost 1600 health. Even the Oracle, it's got a Glimmer Cape, 1200 HP. Everyone's really tanky now on the side of Infinity.
Start thinking about that.
Hello? Okay.
It's a level 13 Lesh. He does have
Misha
heals.
doesn't have... Okay, he finally has a 1 point in mana burn. I was wondering when he was going to get that, because that's really good against the Leshrac and the Wind Ranger.
Are scanning.
For sure. It looks like the Radiant want to try and reclaim this bottom
Oh,
jungle.
sexy Yogi though. Little out of position
Tiny
here.
onto the Oracle again. And there's the finish. Nyx Assassin was required.
A little too deep in front of his team. He needs to be playing in the middle of the pack. Not ahead. Giving a freebie away.
And it's a dead heat between this Void and the Ursa in terms of net worth, and we do start to have to think about, you know, you were saying the Void with the Chrono against the Enrage is pretty good. Is Void a counter to Void? Is Void a counter to Ursa, or is it a matchup that Ursa can actually fight into?
I would say so. Void is a counter to the Ursa, but the Void has to consider Oracle in this game. So if the Ursa can get his Enrage off before the Chrono comes, then that's also huge. Because even though you are chronoed, the damage reduction is there. So there's a lot of things that could go wrong for the Void.
Especially pre-BKB.
Yeah, but if you use your chrono and you don't kill anybody, that's an absolute disaster. Like the Ursa is just going to turn around and eat your face.
Yeah, munch up your entire team.
Is under attack.
They have smoked, wanting to utilize that Chrono. Level 15 Faceless Void. Not finding the opening. The Dire team very, very safely nestled back in their triangle and now going for a counter smoke. As Nyx Assassin, he's going to wander straight up into them. Howdy,
Nice
partners. Nice Carapace and the Self-Fuels on a Rolling Thunder connecting onto the Ursa and forcing that early Enrage. They stun Pamplona in the back. Nyx Assassin does lose his life, but Void comes in. Chrono catches a snowball. He misses everybody else. He's whiffed it on Lumiere. He's focusing onto Pamplona. Sure, the Supernova down on the low ground. It's a decent position here as Lesh tries to focus it down with the Wind Ranger. The bash is coming through, and the egg, it comes down and lands on their heads. Lumiere knows he can battle now with the help of the Sunray, but the false promise from the
Can't get up
Oracle.
the hill.
brings the save from the high ground, and now Mr. Jeans returns with that combo, kills off the Oracle,
Lumiere.
now jumps forward aggressively. Lumiere, they're in a 2v1. Ursa, he's stranded, he doesn't have anyone to save him. The big whacks in from the Void and the Tiny, clear through a double kill for Lumiere, while Wind Ranger's chasing down Gardic. Ooh, the Fairy Fire, the Avalanche Toss is going to stop him in his tracks. And a massive fight, a huge wipe, Hokori. Even with a Void completely missing the Chrono Theban.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I actually can't believe that worked. The Void, though, he made a good decision to jump down and help the Phoenix while the egg was going out. The Leshrac and Wind Ranger were trying to kill the egg, and then he got a few bashes onto the Leshrac that allowed the egg to go off, and that pretty much was the saving grace of the team fight. And then kiting the Ursa up, Tiny did a really good job, went for the supports first, killed off the Oracle, and then came back around to help the Void. There's no point for the Tiny to go for the Ursa right away. So he's done a really good job on Mr. Jeans going for the right targets in these engagements.
I mean, the Chrono was like a like a zoning Chrono, made sure they couldn't go from high ground to low ground. It also forced an early enrage from the Ursa, so we didn't have it in the fight proper. Now working on a BKB for now.
Yep, PP.
It's all-
He has a BKB now, or he did in the last fight as well. So I wonder if he should just like try to go on to the Pango and just chase him down, kill him, even while he's rolling away, which is a possibility.
What was the terminology you used the other day about heroes that just walk into the fog to give vision? Like, was it Vision Breaker? What?
Open
Vision opening, yeah. Well, whatever the Nyx Assassin did there, like he literally just walked high ground,
Yeah.
right?
Yep, he opened vision. He opened the team fight just by running in there. It was very nice. He clicked the Spy Carapace, got everyone to stun him. Like, he died right away after the Yules, but he bought enough time for everybody to see what's going on in the engagement.
Did his job. Open vision.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And that is a juicy double damager in bottom.
Tower is under
But
attack.
they're pushing high ground. Hey, now is on your tier 3. Plenty of heroes behind him. Come back down and defend with your Pango and Phoenix. Feels like they want to smoke off the back of that little cheeky fake push. They know they've forced a couple of TPs there, so if any stragglers are left up in that top portion of the map, they should be wide open. But yet again, look who it is. El Misho is there, scouting and knowing exactly what's coming. They tried to slow the Void and they do jump him. Tomahawk down, but the Chrono's there. Snowball in, focus and turn,
Big
back
egg.
in with the Supernova, but the trouble being, they don't have the damage to follow through until Mr. Jeans arrives. He gets a 3-man Avalanche toss, combo in. Sexy Yogi, he's barely survived, gets the save on Little Boy. Now with a Sunray burning through, they've got a 1-for-1. Double buyback for Infinity, in fact, comes out, and now can turn onto that Phoenix as Gardic is shredded. Hokori just have to sprint back to base. They can't continue to fight.
That is so unfortunate, Gary. Like, the Tiny went in onto the backline. Leshrac was so low, so was the Oracle. He almost got the kill, Gary, on the Oracle. He just needed one more source of damage. The Oracle dies. He doesn't get the False Promise off onto Leshrac, but the False Promise did come out. Mech came out, Pipe came out, and then the fight just looked so good for Infinity after that. They did buy back on the 2 heroes. It was probably unnecessary, but they really wanted to do something with the Chrono being on cooldown.
Yeah, they might get a bonus kill on El Misho here. He tried to toy with Pamplona with that Yule's up. He pays very dearly.
They want to go on Infinity side. They know the Chrono's on cooldown. That's a very big spell. Without it, Faces Void, he's just going to continue to push lanes out.
Rolling Thunder. All right, Pango. Causing a little bit of havoc here, but now on cooldown for quite a while, and he still might get jumped. Ah, swashbuckle back.
Okay. It's buying time for the Chrono to be back up, I guess. Not the worst usage of Rolling Thunder. That
I
will
guess
stop them from going high ground.
it probably stops them going Roche as well. Because that could have been, tier 2 into, Roshan, or at least setting up for Roshan.
They're going to take Roshan. There's no doubt they're going to take Roshan. They know that Rolling Thunder's on cooldown. Actually, because they get Roshan, it was probably bad. He used the Rolling Thunder. Yeah, because it's the most important spell inside the pit, right? You just
That's true.
ping pong all the heroes inside there. Yeah, now they got the Aegis on the Ursa.
And the cheese.
And the shard. Oh, it doesn't even. He already bought it, by the way. The shard. He's gonna give that to someone else.
Of course he did.
I don't like that. I think when you're playing Ursa, you should definitely just wait for the second Roshan and see if you get it, and then if you don't get it, then you buy the shard.
Because he could have, a basher or something now, couldn't he?
Yeah, it's 3,400 gold. It's so good.
They do lose their tusk, so a bit of a window here for Hokori to get out on the map, get some vision down, play into this triangle, and maybe push one of these tier 2s. Wind Ranger tucked away.
Yep, they're gonna give it to the Leshrac, the shard here, I think. I hope they do. So good for Lesh, right?
Who's holding it?
The Oracle. He's just chilling with it, keeping it hostage.
It's mine now.
Oh, he's running up the high ground here. There is a ward sitting on him. El Misho, he doesn't have a blink dagger or anything like that. Can use him. Nope, not even needed. Just burst him.
Stunned straight up. Gets himself saved. False Promise and the Fate's Edict. Down to about 15 HP. Avalanche trying to bring him down as the Wind Ranger and the Ursa will turn and face an Oracle.
Really bad.
He's healed himself up enough to survive. Now the chase is on. Vitali rolling back out. In comes the Chrono. Lumiere focusing the Wind Ranger with his BKB and the Supernova. Ursa's been kited by the Avalanche and the Toss, so the Supernova is going to land perfectly on their heads. Now his Aegis and Cheese, it's going to be forfeit here as the Void just cruising through them all. So much damage from Lumiere. Disarmed now, but they've left the Ursa alone. Pamplona, with the help of now, do find Garlic, but Sexy Yogi's been picked off by Mr. Jeans on the right-hand side. Lumiere chain stunned. There we go with the Lesh. Massive split Earth. Oh, the Swashbuckle doesn't get Vitali to the low ground either, so now comes out with a triple kill.
Very well done. I mean, the Void, he found the perfect chrono as all the heroes were chasing the Pango and the Tiny. He got the kill into the Wind Ranger, but now they don't really have much gas left to fight up the Ursa, who's reviving from the Aegis and the Enrage. This all started because Nyx did not want to click Yos onto the Oracle before he got his ulti off. They thought that they could just kill him. But once a False Promise comes out, you pretty much bought so much time for the enemy team to, or your team to your teammates to come and save you.
Alright, didn't even die to that initial burst. And now, little boy with Pamplona carving halfway across the map and finding the Tiny. Mr. Jeans being pummeled and El Misho just dismantled by that Ursa.
Blew up. Tag team plus focus fire.
He does have buyback on Tiny, and honestly, he might need to use it because a level 4 Edict Lesh, he's eyeing up your tier 3 mid. And they still have cheese on this teddy bear. Blink in. Oh my god! Now,
Yep.
he just goes
By the
straight
way,
on and kills the Pango!
That was just Earthshock in Rage, right? That wasn't even his ulti. So he still got that going.
That's nutty!
Did you see the face of
Void has
Void?
got reverse
time lock?
Yes.
It's actually so goofy.
Jump in, jump out.
Like, what?
Doing the hokey pokey.
Why? He's just doing it because he can. I mean,
Go on,
it's
use the time
worth it
dilation
if you have
as well, buddy.
Aghanims. He's got Ags. Can stun them.
That'd be pretty good, yeah. But melee ranks gathered up. El Misho under a sentry. Shackle shot. And they've got the reveal. Another sentry and a dust find themselves another pick. And it looks like that tier 1 and tier 2 top, probably easy pickings for Infinity at this point. Wind Ranger with
control
boots of
top side of the
travel
map.
now.
Maybe get a tier 1 and a tier 2. Find more pickoffs. Infinity at this point, they have so many heroes that can just get good picks, right? Tusk and Leshrac can, Ursa, Wind Ranger can solo pick off heroes on the map.
So what did Hokori learn from that last team fight? Is it Chrono the Ursa instead of the Wind Ranger? Or is that something Lumiere has to do, is kill off PP?
Maybe if you can't burst the Oracle, don't fight.
Okay.
I think that's it. They gotta kill the Oracle. There's no doubt about that.
That's going to come down to Mr. Jeans and El Misho. Let's see if they can get the job done. Smoking out of their base. there's no dire vision there. It's just a sentry up on the high ground.
Top tower is under
So they don't get spotted. Nobody showing bot, nobody showing mid, and dire team holding triangle, but they don't have the back angle covered. They spot the Tiny, but Mr. Jeans sees the Tusk. Half HP, pops the Greaves, the jump in from Lumiere, but the shackle shot is there. They've caught up the Void.
Oh, nice
He's
chrono.
going to turn with the chrono. Nice on the Supernova as well. Now he's caught inside with Little Boy as well. They're focusing the Ursa. Gardic, he's going to dive away. Yule's up through the enrage as well. It's not the main enrage, just that Earthshock one. They're trying to get onto Sexy Yogi too. They've split this fight right in half. As Hokori, they do bring down the Oracle and Tusk, but they've lost so much. Both of their supports and the Pango drop as Void has to jump away with his Time Walk.
Wow. So they get the nice chrono, but all they were able to kill was the Tusk inside of it. Very unfortunate. The Tiny was trying to go for the Oracle, but the Oracle with the Glimmer Cape made it really hard for him to kill him quickly. And now Pango is just going to buy back, and Infinity is going to get out of there without their Oracle up. They don't want to risk anything. They also still have a cheese on the Ursa. This enraged talent, Gary, from the Ursa is just too much. Like, the Void is clicking him. He knows his ulti's on cooldown, but then the Earthshock comes out. He's got 1.5 seconds of enrage, and you can't do anything as the Void. You can't hit him. Because your bash lasts like a millisecond, and the Ursa's not taking any damage. And he's got Abyssal Blade, so he's just going to turn around and kill you. So Lumiere, he had to just run away from the Ursa.
Is that tooltip before or after the cooldown reduction for the Ursa shard? Is it 6 seconds? Or is it 6 minus 1.5? 6 minus 2?
I think it's 6 minus... Wait, let me take a quick look, because now I'm confused. Because some of them works like that. Yeah. Oh, this is after. So this is after. It's 6 seconds. Yeah.
Okay, good. I was a little bit worried there. If it's a 4-second cooldown and he's got a 1.5 second duration, it'd be pretty wild.
There was a spell yesterday that we were looking at where the tooltip doesn't change after the item is bought. I forgot what it was. You know, there's a lot of inconsistencies with some of these tooltips.
Even today, we had someone bought a Shivers Guard and they had +2 armor instead of +17 or whatever. And I think Bowie was saying Luna had a butterfly and she didn't have the evasion show up in her tooltip
butterfly
either.
and the trickster's cloak. It didn't show the proper evasion percentage. It's just like that.
On top of our tooltips.
Happens, especially when you're observing. When you're in game, though, it's very accurate. When you're the one playing, it's quite accurate, but yeah.
That's the important thing. As long as the players aren't clicking on a hero and saying, they've only got 3 armor, but in fact they've got like 27 or something.
Jeez, that would be a disaster. And they're playing at TI Grand Finals. It's like, oh, let's jump this guy. He's got 5 armor. They just get on him. Joke's on you. It's actually 45.
You can't kill me. 30 seconds for Roshan to spawn. Dire team playing down bottom though. Looks like they want to try and force the hand of Hokori to come and defend here and then maybe swing up towards the pit, as they are TPing the Ursa there. Oh, he cancels. Thinking about kicking off this fight, but it's under Radiant Vision. Little Boy goes for the D-Ward, the jump stun, there's the catch. Now is there with the Abyssal Blade with the Chrono.
Sexy Yogi,
catches 3 inside the big bubble, and the backstab Mr. Jeans blows up Sexy Yogi. No saves from the Oracle. They've taken out Little Boy's Lash and the Supernova lands. Ursa, BKB, and Enrage both down, but he still holds the cheese, and a buyback from the Oracle means that Hokori have to retreat. Elmisha jumps in, trying to save the Tiny. Mr. Jeans with the spider legs and the turn. Avalanche toss, but he can't kill him off. That now Ursa is just too bloody strong. He is permanently enraged. Nobody can do any damage to him. And Hokori back into their base. Hide away.
They kill 2 heroes and Ursa's just standing there like, what's up, bro? Just enraging. Doesn't care. Meanwhile, PP on the other side having an anime fight with Vitaly. You got Spider Legs, Wind Ranger, Focus Firing, a Pengolia rolling away. That was a very interesting team fight.
And we've seen multiple times now, huge chronos, right? 3-4-man chronos several times in a row. Still not enough, and they've caught the Phoenix. Gardic snowballed upon Wind Ranger and Tusk. They track back. It does leave bottom lane a little isolated, but yet again, it's Oracle Ursa.
Yeah,
These
and
are
Tiny
two
and
heroes
Phoenix,
that die.
both have buybacks, but they're not buying back, even though there's a Ursa and a Oracle just sitting bottom. You know why? Because they're so afraid of this Ursa. They actually can't fight this Ursa, even if it's 4 versus 2. You know what you need against this hero? You need an Orchid.
Just to stop him casting spells. Or
Yeah,
Hex,
you need to. You actually need him. Need to stop him from casting Earthshock once he gets a shard. But now he's got a Satanic, so there's a Purge there as well. A basic Dispel, which is nice. But for future games, I feel like that's something that needs to be considered when playing against Ursa. A hero who can silence. It was already previously good against the Enrage, but it's even better now because Earthshock also gives him another ability to enrage.
Because you can only have so many Yule Scepters, right? Like
Yeah.
Yule's against Enrage, cool. Yeah, Nyx Assassin, you've got one. If he uses that main ultimate Enrage, that's great. But if he's getting it every 6 seconds,
Exactly, that's the
really
problem.
working
Like
for
you Yules, but then like another duration of the Yules, he's gonna get another enrage anyway.
and we're just going to come in onto this top tier 3. Edict going from the Lesh. And healing up now as the rest of Hokori. What are they up to? Gathering runes. Trying to split push, get out on the map, but they have to defend. They need to make a move. The Dire are just going to start whittling away at these buildings. Melee racks to fall. Mid lane getting pressured. It has to come down to this Nyx Assassin to scout that perfect opportunity for Tiny and Void to make the jump. But the Nyx has been scouted under a sentry. No
That's not
buyback
good.
for El Misho.
There's only 2 range racks left, Gary, and these racks do not heal.
Don't stand a chance.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Okay, you've glyphed it.
They can't see it. They can't find the opening to go in. Void's also
Seems
queuing
impossible.
up a Rapier in this game because it feels like there's no other way.
Especially up against Megas. It's got to feel pretty sad now. Oh, the reverse time walk. The shackle shot doesn't latch behind. Time walk ready in a second or so, but the damage is just too much to handle. 100 seconds with buyback, and he's going to have to use it when the Nyx respawns.
Middle tower is under
Infinity going to go for tier 4s though. Jump in from the Ursa. They want the Phoenix. Rolling Thunder. Channeled up, and the jump in is there. They're bringing down that PP Wind Ranger incredibly quickly and forcing the buyback from her, as well as Yulesing up. That Ursa still has Enrage and Aegis, don't forget, with the BKB to boot. As Tiny punched into the air and still defending his tier 4s. Wind Ranger's in again though, with the tag team and the focus fire. Mr. Jeans dropping quickly. He's got a Daedalus and he's punching hard into Pamplona, but he can't find the finish. The save with the false promise as the
Another
Void
buyback.
whips the Chrono, misses out on PP, takes down the Aegis on the Ursa Warrior at least, but the Tusk is there to slow them down. Cheese eating up, PP on the run back, and that's got to be it. Game will end as Infinity take it to them and tie it up 1-1 up against Hokori. Final little hero kill's going to come out as Mr. Jeans spider legs over the Igloo, but Pamplona's there with a punch, and it is called.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well, Gary, you know what I learned this game? Ursa.
Ursa is the best hard carry in the game.
I don't know. There is a hero